In the late 1940s, Japan was at the crossroads. The country was trying desperately to rebuild, economically, politically, and spiritually. In the early 1950s, as changes to the Japanese constitution based on a policy of international peace begin to take effect, an economic miracle started to unfold. In Australia, forward-thinking politicians and business leaders joined forces with their Japanese counterparts, looking for ways to unlock the potential of both countries. At this point, Australia was all about wool and Japan all about textiles. But by working together and understanding each other's needs, both countries could greatly benefit. In 1957, the historic Australia-Japan Commerce Agreement was signed, and Australia became one of the first allied nations to normalise its trade relations with Japan following World War II. In August 1962, the Australia-Japan Business Cooperation Committee was born. It was quickly followed in February 1963 by the Japan-Australia Business Cooperation Committee.
幅広い産業がオーストラリアの特徴なんだけども、そういう形でどんどん広がっていったと、メンバーシップの数じゃなくて広がりを見せたと、こういうこと、なおかつ広がっているので財政的にも非常にゆったりできたものだから、呼び寄せる講師のレベル、それからパネルディスカッションのいろんなレベル、これも非常に高くて、参加人たちがこれだったらもう一回参加してみたいというような形で、いい意味でのスパイラルがねずっと回り出しているのが、日本経済委員会の実態だと思うんですよね。
This bilateral forum has always been about the big picture, about encouraging and enabling long-term economic cooperation and progress.
Today, 60 years on, the Australia-Japan Business Cooperation Committee is still a partnership built on trust and shared values, deeper understanding, working to each nation's strengths, and the generation of new ideas. For Australia, the focus over the last 60 years has shifted from wool to coal to iron ore to natural gas to hydrogen. For Japan, the focus has shifted from textiles to consumer electronics to heavy industry to finance and investment. It's a proud history, filled with many wonderful achievements. Today, as we acknowledge and celebrate the achievements of the past 60 years, it's also important to focus on the future.
I think one of the big differences between the business-to-business links today and those of 60 years ago is that the communities that are involved in those links are a much broader church. There are many more women involved in the bilateral relationship because they're involved in companies on both sides. And it's also a terrific mix of younger and older people, because the core of the business-to-business relationship are the leaders of the companies, and many of them are older men and women. But we also have worked hard to create an environment where young people who have a real deep interest in the bilateral business relationship can get involved early on in their careers. And that's what the Future Leaders program's been about over a decade now. It's about giving younger people who have a lot to offer the chance to participate in the bilateral business relationship.
Looking ahead, we need to embrace technology and human ingenuity and diversity in areas such as space, robotics, AI, cybersecurity, finance, and resources. With hard work, renewed commitment, and vision, we can take on major challenges relating to geopolitics, energy transition, and emerging technologies.
The message really is to keep doing the things that you're doing now, because these organisations that bring people together are extremely important. And I think that as we go into this fascinating new age, this sort of organisation becomes even more important, because sharing information and finding out what other people are doing is the only way we can build new industries.
The project pioneered shipping of liquefied hydrogen. through the operation of the world's first liquefied hydrogen carrier, the Swiss frontier between Japan and Australia. The project could demonstrate a gold standard how both countries, governments, the business could work together to address early industry development barriers and facilitate the integration of hydrogen in a new, clean, global energy economy.
This is a partnership that will overcome any challenges that the future will bring. Australia is a great friend to Japan, and Japan a great friend to Australia. We have a proud past, but an even brighter future.
日豪貿易の先駆けとして130年以上前に豪州とのビジネスを開始した弊社としては大変感慨深いです。今後ともさらなる継続と発展を心よりお祈り申し上げます。